Hello everyone. I would like to welcome you all in today's class, and today is the second day. So we are going to study about the variables in Python. In the previous class we have studied basic things of Python. So today we are going to study about variables. So let's see, and you can access the playlist in the description also about this tutorial. So let's see what is variables. So before studying about the variables, I would like to give you one example, and that example is like in this world there are different containers to store different things. Like we store rice in one container, we store fruits in another container, we store sugar in another container. Like we have different things in different containers. Similar are the variables. Like suppose a gets 90. Okay, so what it means is this a is actually a container and this 90 is actually a value, like the sugar or rice that we put inside the container. So what we do here is this, we put this 90 in the container named a. Okay, suppose name is ram. So what we do here is this ram is a thing that we put inside the container named name. This name is a container and this ram is the value. So this is container, this is container, and to store values, so this is actually the value. So what we do in variables, variables are the containers. They are the containers where we store different kinds of values. Suppose marks is 90. Suppose one student got 90 marks in his examination, then we put marks as 90. So in this way we can store the values in the variables. And how can we print it? So printing is pretty easy. Suppose if I print a, then it will print me this, and let me move this to side, panel position, and then left. Okay, let me move this to the left side, so we can see this as 90. And similarly we can print other things like name and marks. So let's see what it shows us. So it gives us 9 ram and again 90. So this 90 ram and 9. So in this way we can store the name of the values as a variables. Okay, and in Python we do not need to declare the particular data type. What are data types? We will actually learn in the next class, but for now, data types, there are many types of data like number, strings. Instead of number we tell it integer, string, float, complex. They are the data types. Okay, so let me give you one example. Suppose a is 76. Now we don't need to tell Python that this is an integer. It will automatically understand this is integer. And suppose name, okay, I write b Hari. So regarding this b is Hari, right? So we don't need to tell this Python that this b is a string. It will automatically understand that this is a string. So we do not need to declare particular data type in Python. Okay, so this is one of the easy thing in Python. And what is casting? So casting is we are telling Python that this is this data type. For example, a is 5 and we are telling this as integer. Okay, now this is 5 and we do not need to put here capital, we put here small. And b is what? B is a string, so I put a string as 5. And what is c? C is float, so I put float as 5. Now what are these? Actually these are the data type, and this is called typecasting. So what is typecasting? Typecasting is simply we are telling Python this a must be integer, and we are telling Python this b must be a string, and we are telling this Python that c must be a float. Now what is integer, string, and float? Integer are simple whole numbers which do not have decimal points, which we will study later in the next class in data types. So, and a string are the words like this Hari. And what is float? Float are the numbers along with the decimal points. So in this way we can specify the data type. We can tell Python that this is integer, this must be string, and this must be float. So let me show you by printing this. So let me print a, and let me print b also, and let me print c also. Okay, so let's see what it shows. So it is showing us 5 and 5.0. So actually this 5 is number, this is integer, and this 5 is string, and this 5 is along with the decimal point, that is the float. Okay, so in this way we can typecast in Python. Typecasting is very important thing when we become advanced programmer, because if we do not typecast then we might get some error later on. Okay, so next thing, how do we know the data type in Python? So how can Python know the data type? So suppose I have a data, this is 87 and this is like 6.7 and this is suppose a string. Right. Okay, we know this A is integer, this B is float, and this C is string. But do Python know or not? Yes, Python also know about it, and it can give us result also. So how do we print from Python? So we write print, then after we write type, then after we write the name of the variable which we want to know the data type. Okay, so we want to know the data type of A, then we put it inside the type function. Okay, so let me run this now. After running this, we will get class integer, and after this let me find of B and C also, B and C. So let me show you. So we can see this is class integer, the first one is integer, the second one is float, and the third one is a string. So in this way we can know the data type in Python. And another thing is variable names are case sensitive. For example, this is age is 90, and this is another age which is 67, and this is another age which is 56. Now what is the difference between all these things? Actually these are the same things, but in Python they are different. Why they are different? Because variable names are case sensitive. Case sensitive means here everything is in small, here only one thing is in capital, and here everything is in capital. So Python regard all these three things as a different one. So let me show you by printing it. So let me print age at first, then I'd like to print this age where only one is capital, and I would like to print this age where everything is capital. Okay, so let me show you. So it is showing 90, 67 and 56, they are all different. So in Python what happens is variable names are case sensitive, means if one is in small and another is in capital, then they are regarded as different by Python, they are not regarded as same. Okay, so next thing is rule for variable name. So while putting the name of these variables, there are different rules. We must follow different rules. If we do not follow, then it will give us error. The first rule is must start with a letter or underscore. Okay, so our variable name can start like this. It can start with letter, or it can start with even underscore also. 87. Okay, it can start with letter or it can start with underscore. But if we start with other things, like if we start with this, then we might get an error. So let me run and show you how. So we have got the error. Why we have got error? Because it is started with the asterisk. So it can start only with letter or underscore. And number two, name cannot start with a number. Like we cannot do like this, 3 is gets 90. It cannot start with the number. Okay, otherwise it will give us error. So it has already showed us the error. So we cannot start with the number. And third thing is alphanumeric and underscore only. So variable names, inside the variable names there can be only three things. They are either alphabet or numbers or underscore. Okay, except that everything they will throw error. Like for example, age of RAM, if I write like this 90, then it will throw us error. Why it will throw us error? Because we cannot put this thing. This is neither alphabet nor number nor underscore, but we can put underscore like this. We can put underscore, we can put underscore, and we can put number in between like 3. It is fine. But if we put 3 in front, then it will show us error. Okay, so number can only be in between, and underscore and alphabet can be anywhere. So except those things, we cannot put anything in the variables. And variable names are case sensitive. We have already known about this. Variable names are case sensitive, means small and capital they differ. Okay, and last rule is cannot be any Python keywords. So what are Python keywords? Python keywords are actually the reserved words. They are reserved by Python. So let me show you in my browser what is the Python keywords. So Python keywords, let me show you in this website. Okay, so these are the Python keywords. See, you can see here this and, as, assort, these all are the Python keywords. So let me put one Python keywords. Okay, which one? Okay, I want to put this for. Okay, so suppose I put here this for as 90. So it will show us error. Why it will show us error? Because this is the Python keyword. This is already reserved for something, so we cannot put this name as our variable name. So in this way we move on. And next thing, sometimes what we have to do is we have to put multiple words in the variable names. For example, number of workers in factory. Okay, so we are putting this as 90. Now by seeing this, it is very confusing, right? So number of workers in factory is a very large one, and seeing this is very confusing. So there are three cases which we use generally, which people use generally for solving these kinds of problems. The first one is the camel case, which is pretty simple. So what we do is we put number just as it is. Now while writing off, we put it as a capital, so O will be capital and F will be small. Now again, while writing worker, W will be capital and other things, workers, will be in small. And here in, I will be in capital, N will be small, and factory, this F will be in capital and other things will be in small. So like this we can do. Okay, so what is basically here is the first one, they are all in small, and while from the second they are all in capital, but only the first one is in capital. Like in the factory, this F is only in capital, others are in small. So this is camel case. And what is Pascal case? So Pascal case is little different from the camel case. So in the Pascal case, the first one is also in capital. Okay, this is Pascal case. So what is the difference between camel and Pascal case? In camel case, the first one, everything is in small, but in Pascal case, in the first one is capital, the first one is bigger. Okay, this N is big, but here this N is small. All the things are same in camel and Pascal case. Now let's move on to the snake case. Snake case is very easy. We don't use capital and small here. What we do is we put underscore in between everything. Like we put number, then underscore, then we put off, then underscore, then we put workers, then underscore, then we put in, then underscore, then we put factory, then we get 90. So in this way the snake case works. So my personal favorite is the snake case, while you can use Pascal case and camel case as also. So let's move on to the next, and here we will learn how to put multiple variables in one line. For example, value of A is 9, value of B is 7, and value of C is 4. Okay, so writing this code, we are using one line for one code. Okay, but we can do this in same line. We can put multiple variables in same line. How can we do that? We write A, comma B, comma C, and we write 9, comma 7, comma and 4. So doing this and this, both are same actually. Both of them are same. Doing them are same. And let me comment this out and show you by printing this. So let me print A, and let me print B also, and let me print C also. So let us see what happens here. So we can see 9, 7 and 4, 9, 7 and 4. In this way also we can assign the name of the variables in a single line. We do not need to use 3 lines here. We can do the same thing in a single line of code. So let's know about one to multiple variables. Suppose Ram got 90 in examination, Ari also got 90 in his examination, Shyam also got 90 in his examination. Okay, so how can we do this in the same line? So we write it Ram gets Ari, gets Shyam, and gets 90. So writing this and writing this are same. So let me show you the proof. So let me print this now. Print Ram, and let me print Shyam also, and let me print Ari also, and let me show you the result. So we can see 90, 90 and 90. So in this way we can put one to multiple variables, means we can assign multiple variables to one value. And now let's learn about how to unpack a list. And what is list? Actually list we will know about in detail in the next class. So for now, simply what is list is, suppose I have a max of 3 students. Okay, one got 90, one got 87, and one got 67. Now these are the marks of Ram, Shyam, and Hari. So what I can do simply is we can write marks. Okay, now what will it do is it will unpack a list. Unpack a list means I put Ram, Shyam, and Hari as marks, then it will go to the marks and fetch these values. Like this will give 90 to Ram, this will give 87 to Shyam, SHYAM, okay, and this will give 67 to Hari. So in this way they will give marks, they will fetch and give the marks. This is called unpacking a list. And do not worry if you do not understand this, because we will learn about this later when we study about the list in detail. So for now, and now I want to print. Okay, so I want to print Ram, and I want to print others also. I want to print Shyam, and I want to print Hari. Okay, so let's see what it shows. So it is giving us marks 90, 87, and 67. So in this way we can unpack a list. From the list we can fetch the values, we can get the values from the list. Now next thing is output multiple variables. Okay, for example, this is A, where we write God. This is B, where we write exist, and this is C, where we write everywhere. Okay, so how can I print all these things in a same line? So I can do this by using addition function. So A plus B plus C, okay, by using the addition operator. So let me show you how it works. See, it has combined God, exist, and everywhere in the same line, but one problem is there is no space in between. What if I want to put the space in between? So putting a space in between, I can do it with the help of comma. So A, comma B, comma C. Now let's see what happens. So if I print this one, it doesn't have any space, but this has the spaces. This have all the spaces that they need. So while putting the addition, they don't give us a space, but while putting the comma, they give us space. Okay, so in this way we can output multiple variables in the same line. Now let's see one thing. Suppose A is 9 and B is Ram. Now can I combine these two things? Let's combine A plus B. Let me show you by combining it. So after combining, it is showing us error. So it is saying that we cannot combine an integer with a string by using plus. Okay, now what about comma? A comma B. Can we do like this? Let's see. So it has shown us error. Let me again put this as a comment for some time, and let me again run it. So after running this, it has showed us 9 and Ram. So yes, we can combine it with the help of comma, but we cannot combine it with the help of plus. So in this way we can combine number and a string with the help of comma. And now our last topic, that is global and local variables, and we will only have the introduction in this class. Just I want to know you what are they, and later when we study about the function, then we will read about this in detail. So regarding the global variables are those variables which are outside the function. Global variables are always outside the function, and local variables are inside the function. So local variables only work inside the function, and global variables works everywhere, either inside the function or outside the function. They work everywhere. Okay, so this is about the local and global variables. So for today, this much only. I hope you have understood variables in detail in Python. So for today, this much only. Thank you, take care, and bye bye.